I want you to protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Fight hard but fight clean. If you want to touch gloves, touch them now. Good luck.
Champion against champion.
Here we go.
Hello and welcome to First Strike Podcast. I am your host, Christian.
I'm Jesse.
And we are here to talk some MMA. And wow, it's kind of weird without a whole squad next to us.
For real. No Chris, no Lou, no Jesus.
Just us two. Now, I'm just a casual fan. You are the more diehard fan. Mm-hmm. So we were supposed to record today. Today's our only day to record. We haven't recorded since the 206 card.
209.
I flipped the 6. Yeah. I flipped the 9 upside down. 6 and 209 card. And we have been missing because
snow,
time schedule, snow,
traveling,
everything and in a half, and it's been a mess. Life, yes, indeed, but we're back, and Christian was supposed to be on the show. Texted him about 30 minutes ago. Didn't respond back. He said he got work. He said he does have work in the morning, though, so I just figured he's sleeping, but this is our only chance we could do it, only chance we're available. So, Jesse, the floor is yours. And I'll throw my comments here and then, but this is all you.
Okay. Well, there was
Okay.
There was a fight night 2 weeks ago. The fight night with Belfort, Vitor Belfort and Kevin Gastelum.
Kevin Gastelum washed him, right?
Yes, very badly.
How bad?
Knocked him out in the first 3 minutes. Yeah, but we'll get into that. We're gonna go into the. I believe it was on the main card. I'm not sure because it was a few weeks ago. No MMA this week, sadly. We're recording on Sunday now. What time is it?
It's 1:10 a.m. in
Sunday.
The morning.
Okay.
I am exhausted. I had work. I got work at 12.
Oh, for real? Yeah, I'm just sore from free fall. Me and Christian went to free fall yesterday.
It's a trampoline place.
We're just sore and tired.
Imagine they didn't care and we could actually do like MMA moves on there.
Yeah.
Or not MMA moves, but like wrestling moves, like some WWE shit. Bro, I would rock bottom you, then hit you with a swanton bomb.
I would sphere will and like choke slam. And...
Bro, imagine doing the who was the guy who did the crazy punch? My man Anthony Pettis. Imagine doing the punch off it. You know what I'm talking about?
Off the sidewall,
off the trampoline wall.
That would be
the
flames. Showtime kick. Oh my god.
It was a kick?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we talk about our lives. First fight I'm gonna talk about is Alex Oliveira and Tim Means. This fight originally was supposed to happen. Did happen a few weeks ago, but Tim Means did hit Alex Oliveira with a legal knee, and it was a DQ. So they did reschedule it. They did reschedule this fight, and Alex Oliveira, I believe he put him in a rear naked choke. I don't exactly remember what submission it was, but I'm looking at the results here, and it said he won by submission. Real good win by Alex Oliveira. It showed that he could beat Tim Means even after the first controversial fight when Tim Means hit him a legal knee. Good win for Oliveira, like I said. I can't think of a real good, worthy opponent for Oliveira because I think he did say he was going to take some time off a little bit and regroup because he had to cut weight twice for Tim Means. First fight was controversial with the DQ. And when he just fought 2 weeks ago against Tim Means again. So I think he's going to take some time off right now, but I guarantee he'll get back in the octagon pretty soon, probably in the summertime. For Tim Means, I don't know. He did look relatively sloppy with his boxing, in my opinion. He didn't really look good against Oliveira. But major shout out to Alex Oliveira for getting submission victory over Tim Means. And moving on in his career with whoever he fights next, I'm not sure because I'm pretty sure he's going to take time, like I said. Next fight, Bethe Correia and Marion Reneau.
Bethe Correia is still living, breathing?
This fight was insane.
It was good?
It was a draw.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Second draw I've ever seen in my life. Thompson 2 and Woodley in this fight as well. It was the only 2 draws I ever seen in my life. And this fight, bro, was a scrap. Bethe Correia and Marion, I believe that's how you say her name, These girls, man, they threw hands all night long. The two judges scored the bout. Draw, as I said. Bethe Correia hit this bitch 68 times, and Marion hit her 153 times.
How is it a draw?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, Bethe had two takedowns, and she was really aggressive on the ground. Mm-hmm. She is a black belt, I believe in black belt or a brown belt, either belt, color, in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Bethe Correia, at the end of the fight, she was dancing and doing some weird shit. And Bethe Correia just, I thought she lost the fight by far because Marion hit her, I knew, consecutively in the last 2 rounds because it was only a 3-round bout.
Yeah.
And Bethe looked, ever since she lost her round to Rousey, man, I thought she stopped fighting. I knew she had a really good fight a few months ago. That was, I believe, by split decision. So ever since she's lost her round to Rousey, I don't think she's won a fight. I don't know what's next for Bethe.
Well, it's kind of always hard to do the women just because it's just so many at the top. Like, it's so few at the top, I should say, and then the rest are kind of just floating.
Yeah, I like the bantamweight division. It's grown ever since Ronda Rousey lost to Holly Holm over a year ago. But I don't see what's next for Bethe Correia because with the draw now, I think she's at the top 10 still, maybe. And this girl, Marion, Reneau, I never heard of her before. I'm sorry.
But now you know her.
Huh?
Now you know her.
Yeah, now I know her. She had a really good scrap with Bethe Correia. Ray Borg. No, I'm not going to get into him because I don't really know him. Edson Barboza. He had a flying knee. One performance of the night, KO. And he beat my man Beneil Dariush. And he's a really good takedown. He's really good with his wrestling and his boxing.
Jesse, you can never pronounce names in your life.
It's Dariush.
I know, but you'll call a regular basic name and
the most complicated
it
name
and make it the most.
Yeah.
It'll be a name Destiny, and you'll be like, you know the girl Destiny, but here you are saying Barlula Nushin. What the? How?
I don't know. It's weird.
You mess up the simplest names, bro.
Anyway, Beneil Dariush, I guess is
Dariush.
Dariush. Really good with his takedowns, and he has really good boxing. He was looking good in the first round against Edson. I believe Dariush took the first round with his boxing. He didn't take Edson down. He was 0 for 2 against Edson because Edson really has been working on his takedown defense, and his takedown defense has always been good. I'm a really big fan of Edson Barboza. I believe...
Who won the fight?
Edson Barboza by a flying knee.
Yeah, you said knockout.
Because when, in the second round, Barboza was picking him apart with his leg kicks, because in my opinion, Edson Barboza has the hardest leg kicks in MMA, above Jose Aldo. Tyron Woodley has some really good leg kicks. And he kept reading him during the fight where Dariush would throw his left hand, his right, and then he would go for the takedown. And it took Edson a few times to read that, and then in the second round, he threw the 1-2, and then he went for the takedown, and Edson Barboza immediately went for the flying knee, clapped, knocked him out. Perfect knockout. Edson Barboza, he's just a knockout artist. His stand-up is vicious, man. Like I said, his leg kicks are deadly. He's the only man ever that I've seen hit a man with a spinning heel kick, and that's one of the most vicious knockouts in UFC history to this date.
But what did this win does for him? Because I never heard of the guy he faced. And Edson Barboza is supposed to be a high-ranked guy.
Edson Barboza, right now, I believe, is number 4 in the lightweight division.
Whoever this guy was.
Dariush was 8.
Oh, so really? I didn't hear.
Top 10 opponent. Obviously, I would love Barboza to go against Conor, because I think Barboza is more of a threat than Tony Ferguson.
Do you really?
Yes. And I know Tony Ferguson did beat Edson Barboza, but that was hell of a scrap, too. They fought, I believe, about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. I'm not really sure. I have to check on that. But Edson Barboza and Tony Ferguson, just to review real quick, they were throwing hands, and they were clipping each up pretty good. And
Is this Tony Ferguson and Conor fight going to happen?
No.
Why not?
Because Conor doesn't want to fight Tony. It's not a draw to him.
So who's he going to fight?
Who, Conor?
Yeah.
Floyd. We'll get into that. It's getting real close to coming a mega fight, the most...
He got a whole ass title on his belt, on his hands.
You know what Tony's been saying to him? He said defend it or vacate it. And it's true. Because I don't think Conor's going to come back to the UFC until probably fall of next year.
Of next year?
Yeah. Who knows, man? Because this fight, Mayweather said he called out Conor. He's only coming out of retirement for Conor McGregor. He said, yo, let's get this thing out in June. They already reserved the arena. They've talked about a date. June 10th, I believe it was, in T-Mobile Arena.
Now what's stopping them?
Money.
T-Mobile Arena, where's that at?
No, it's in LA, I think, or Cali. Because Floyd has, obviously, a boxing license everywhere, because he's a former boxer, and Conor has a license in Cali. And Conor is trying to get his boxing license in Las Vegas. He just got his, the incident with Nate Diaz when they threw water bottles at each other. He got his $150,000 fine reduced to $25,000 and I believe 48 hours of community service. So not that bad, I guess. Coming from Conor, because that's probably a big deal to him still, but at least he's not paying $150K. But anyway, the thing that's holding back the whole Floyd fight, and then we'll get back to the Edson Barboza and like future opponent or whatever, is the money and the weight. The money, because Conor wants the 9-figure payday like Floyd. He's not going to get it. He'll probably get it, maybe, with all the pay-per-view, because it's going to be the biggest fight in fighting history. Boxing, MMA.
9 figures?
9-figure, yeah. Floyd's going to get 9-figure payday, by far.
Ain't no way in hell Conor's getting 9 figures.
He wants a 9-figure payday, but he's not getting it. Sorry. It's not going to happen. That's the big part of it. That's the reason why it hasn't happened yet. Conor's saying it's very, very close, and same thing with Floyd. Another thing is weight. Floyd's little man.
145, right?
Yeah, and Conor won't cut to that weight. Guarantee it. The lowest he'll go is probably 150. And that's where Conor could be relatively really quick and still have his power. I think the heaviest Floyd has fought at was maybe 152, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember. I could see
Floyd's usually, I'm pretty sure, 145, right?
Yeah.
So, all right,
a welterweight,
I think
according to boxing.
Or maybe it was 148.
Yeah, he's fought at 148 too. I think that's.
Do they have a division at every 3 pounds? Like,
yeah, boxing is odd. Like welterweight is 145, and UFC that's 170.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know he ranged around the. I can see them both evening out at 150.
Yeah, I'd love for them just to solve out the money issues, because they already have the T-Mobile Arena, the dates, and then just the weight needs to be discussed, and I think it'll be a done deal. I mean, Floyd's gonna get over $200 million guaranteed, plus pay-per-view. Conor would probably be lucky if he made over $100 million with pay-per-view included and everything else that he gets his way. Ain't no way
these people are just throwing out money like that. You bugging?
It depends, because it's
I don't think I'll even pay for this goddamn pay-per-view.
It's going to get more money than Pacquiao and Floyd, by far. That's just the way I feel, because Conor is a better promoter than Manny Pacquiao, and in my opinion, he runs his mouth better than Floyd Mayweather. But at the end of the day,
but the Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather fight promoted itself.
Yeah, Conor's going to promote it better than that, though. You know.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, but still,
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the UFC fans, I feel like it was Pacquiao and Mayweather was the match that the boxing purists wanted to see, as well as the mainstream audience.
Yeah.
Where in this case, it's just the mainstream audience.
That's not true. The reason why
no boxing purist wants to see this fight.
The reason why I like this fight is because it brings in the aspect of two worlds. Real fighting in MMA and the boxing purists that enjoy boxing, and the arguably one of the best boxers of all time, Floyd Mayweather. And by far the biggest athlete, in my opinion, in today, which is Conor McGregor.
He's not the biggest athlete.
Most talked about, probably.
LeBron James isn't the guy?
Yeah, but you think who's more popular now, Conor or LeBron?
LeBron James.
That's tough. That's tough to decide.
Who got their sneakers?
That's true.
Who got... I don't see Conor in commercials.
What are you talking about? Conor's in commercials?
What commercials?
Well, no, you don't know about the horse commercial he did. And
He's in a Sprite commercial?
No.
Is he in a Sprint commercial or a Samsung commercial?
He will be. He will be. All right. Give him time. Anyway.
Okay. Right now, LeBron James is the biggest athlete in the world.
Okay. All right. It's arguable. But
winning Kids' Choice Awards and shit like that, that's going to be LeBron
James. Give Conor time.
Okay. No, I understand.
We'll talk about that later with Conor because I have more news about him and Floyd. But back to Edson Barboza. I could see him fighting maybe a rematch with Tony Ferguson. Maybe Rafael Dos Anjos move up in weight. Maybe Eddie Alvarez.
If this Conor and Ferguson match isn't gonna happen, I'll take the Ferguson versus Edson Barboza.
I'd love that fight because they both push it to the limit. Tony Ferguson put him in a darts choke.
Any update on Khabib?
Khabib, no, he's recovering from his weight cut. I believe he is not supposed to fight for a few months because the reason why he had trouble making the weight was because his liver wasn't getting like blood or something like that. That's what Luke Rockhold.
That's serious.
Luke Rockhold reported on Fox Sports for UFC.
Luke Rockhold, I heard, wants to move up.
Yeah, he wants to fight Werdum.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's a joke. But Edson Barboza and Tony Ferguson is a match to make. Him and even Eddie Alvarez or Nate Diaz. Just give Edson Barboza another name because I think that's Conor McGregor's toughest matchup in my opinion because he's a better striker than Conor. I'll admit that. His jiu-jitsu is on another level. He's a black belt. I believe he went to Gracie Academy. I'm not sure, but he's really good fighter.
How's his defense though?
He's really good at sprawling takedowns.
I haven't seen too much of it.
Yeah. He's look him up after we do this podcast. Right. You'll be impressed. Shogun Rua. Bro, he looked like the old Shogun, man.
I actually heard about that.
He's number 5 in the lightweight division right now. Light heavyweight division. I'm sorry. Yeah. He beat Gian Vellante, and I believe Vellante wasn't ranked. I'm not sure, but he's a good, solid fighter. Shogun, he just unloaded combinations, and his movement was really well. He did get clipped a few times in the fight. It went three rounds. Shogun knocked him out, TKO. And he really impressed me. Shogun Rua, he just unloaded combinations. How old
is he now?
I believe he's in his mid-30s, maybe 36, if anything.
I thought this man was like 39 at least.
No. Maybe 37, I'm not sure. But he looked like the old Shogun Rua when he had the belt before he lost to Jon Jones and when he beat Machida. But he really impressed me. I feel like he has maybe a few more years, and I believe he's on a 4-fight win streak now.
Wow.
Who knows? Maybe he could face what's his name?
Cormier?
No, not Cormier. Cormier would light up.
Well, we were talking about light heavyweight division.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of his name. Not Jon Jones. Jimi. No. Oh, Anthony Johnson. Wow, I couldn't get the name out of my mind. I feel like Shogun Rua and Anthony Johnson would be.
Anthony Johnson's about to be the damn champion.
Yeah. We'll get into that in a few weeks when we talk about UFC 210 in 2 weeks. But I feel like if Shogun faces another fighter and he wins, give him like a Cormier or Anthony Johnson, not Jon Jones, because who knows the whole situation when Jon Jones is coming back. Rumored supposed to be back in July and fight the winner of Johnson and Cormier 2. Doesn't matter because Jon Jones is going to be probably... He already is the best mixed martial artist I've ever seen. And I hope he gets that belt back and redeems his career and retires one of the greatest of all time. But Shogun Rua, good win. 4th straight victory over a pretty good opponent. I hope he gets another fight soon. He looked very good. And I hope he doesn't take any time off. I want him to get back in the octagon and show that he's still good at what he does. And just maybe push for another title opportunity. But
if Bisping could do it, goddamn.
Yeah, honestly, if Bisping could do it, Shogun Rua can do it. And Shogun's younger too, so who knows? And we're going to jump to the main event here. Vitor Belfort and Kelvin Gastelum. Vitor Belfort, I think he should retire, man. He looked good fighting Kelvin Gastelum in the first few minutes because the fight didn't last that long.
First few minutes. It lasted the first few minutes.
Yeah. Vitor hit him with some good combinations and hit him with some good leg kicks. He's tried to hit him with his spinning back kick, or spinning heel kick, I'm sorry. And he just couldn't land on Kelvin Gastelum. I think Kelvin Gastelum's he's small for the 185-pound division, but he's extremely quick. And he just picked Vitor apart with his boxing. His left and right hand are too powerful for Vitor.
I feel like he's been stacking wins.
Yeah. He's won the past. He beat Johnny Hendricks at UFC 200. He beat Tim Kennedy at 185. And he just beat Vitor, the Phenom, one of the best UFC fighters of all time.
What's up with this title shot?
And not yet.
Well, I'm saying soon. What is is his ranking going up? I don't know how.
He's the 8th ranked fighter in the division because it was only his second fight. At 185. Because he moved up in weight.
And Vitor isn't the most highly ranked.
No, not anymore. Because he fell off the face of the earth. But in my opinion, Vitor, just retire. He does have one fight left on his UFC contract. He called out CM Punk.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't understand why he would fight CM Punk.
He did that. Is that even a payday?
Yeah, well, CM Punk is a payday alone because he did get a lot of money for when he fought Mickey Gall, but
that was
Vitor,
his first fight, though. Your first fight, so it's going to be a big payday, especially after you lose. I don't know if that's a payday, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. Vitor, honestly, I would retire now. If he was serious about wanting to fight CM Punk, he said he wanted to fight him at 205 pounds, so he would move up in weight to light heavyweight for his last fight, which he previously fought at earlier in his career.
He wants to fight at 205, you said?
Yeah.
CM Punk fought at what?
170. Yeah.
So he wants to fight CM Punk 35 pounds above CM Punk's weight.
Yeah. What did CM Punk wrestle at in WWE? Was he up there in weight? 200 something, right? Do you remember?
That just doesn't make sense to me.
Who knows? Because if you think about it, CM Punk probably cut a shit ton of weight for that Mickey Gall fight. He's probably walking around.
See, well, wrestling
190-ish.
The thing is wrestling, your build weight might not be what you really weigh. So.
True. But I just think it's a joke because why would Vitor call out CM Punk? Who knows?
He's 190.
190? Okay. I just think Vitor should retire, like I keep saying. But I think the real fight to make is Vitor and Anderson Silva too. Just because,
give Anderson another damn win.
Yeah. And I just think it's both a good way for both fighters to send them off into their career because Vitor wants to fight in, I believe, Brazil again because I think they're having a card in June.
That's actually a pretty good idea, Anderson versus.
But it's already shot out the window because Kelvin Gastelum, after he defeated Vitor Belfort when he knocked him out clean, called out Anderson Silva. Next day, Anderson Silva meets with Dana White, signs a contract to fight Kelvin Gastelum in June, and
is that the Brazil card?
Yes, and I believe right now it's the UFC 212, yeah, because that's Aldo and Max Holloway in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Is that the stack card?
No, 211. We'll get into
211.
that. Oh, that's gonna be card of the year. But I think right now that's the co-main event is Anderson Silva and Kelvin Gastelum. I'm worried about Anderson Silva getting knocked out again. I really am. Because I don't want Anderson Silva to get knocked out again.
Anderson Silva's losing that fight, bro.
Yeah.
Because the way he fought, he's losing that fight.
The way he fought Derek Brunson, the way he fought Daniel Cormier, his last few fights has been like snoozers. And
no, the Cormier fight was not his fault. Neither was the Brunson fight.
Fault. He shouldn't have won.
He's trying to put on the show. You see that every time he goes out.
Yeah. But I'm nervous because Kelvin Gastelum is young.
Hands.
He's a young stud. He's quick. He got hands knocked out.
Let's hope he doesn't make weight.
Oh my God. If Anderson Silva loses by decision, I'll be happy. I just don't want Anderson Silva to get knocked out. That's my only point. But like I said, good win for Kelvin Gastelum. He said that after he beat Vitor, that it's a legend killer tour or something like that. Like he called out Vitor Belfort after he knocked out Tim Kennedy, and now after he knocked out Vitor Belfort, he's calling out Anderson Silva. Like, I wonder who's next.
He's the Randy Orton of the...
For real. Like, I could, if he beats Anderson Silva, I could see him calling out, who else is at 185 that needs to retire? Eventually, maybe, because maybe...
That would be dope if he hits everyone up and then goes to Bisping as like the main boss.
Maybe, because
that's some WWE storyline.
Yeah, the 185 division, man. I think it's better than what people think, because if you think about it, it's Bisping is the champ, Romero number 1 contender, of course, Luke Rockhold, Jacare Souza, and the rest is just debatable. You know what I mean? And the fact that Kelvin Gastelum could slide into like the top 6 in that division, and he's only had 3 fights. Like, if he beats Anderson Silva, he'll be top 6 in the division.
What'd you think about what Jacare said?
About Bisping?
He'll rather, instead of waiting, he'll rather retire.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if I don't blame him, because he's fighting Robert Whittaker, and he's the number 6 middleweight fighter in the world. And I really do like Robert Whittaker a lot. I think he has really good potential. But Jacare is probably going to beat him, but by decision, or knock him out, or put him in submission, because Jacare has one of the best jiu-jitsu games in UFC. If Jacare doesn't get a title shot after this, I could see him retiring, because he's retired in he retired in the top of his game in jiu-jitsu in 2005. I read the whole article about it. One thing I actually read, because I don't like reading a lot of stuff. I just assume shit.
You assume a lot of shit, bro. But there was one article, I think Woodley was like, yeah, I think Damian Maia is so underrated. And then Jesse quoted it and was like, keep talking shit, you're going to get your jaw tapped. And I was like, bro, what did he say? And he was like, why are you talking about Damian Maia like that? And I was like, bro, he said he's underrated. Like, he's like, oh, bro, I didn't even read that part.
Yeah, I just assume shit, bro. And I don't know, man.
But keep talking, you're going to get knocked out or some shit like that.
Oh, God. All right. We'll move on to the UFC Fight Night card now. This was last weekend, March 18th, at the O2 Arena in London, England. 3 fights I really want to talk about here. Brad Pickett and Marlon Vera. Brad Pickett's last UFC fight, and he got hit with a roundhouse kick to the head, and he went down to the ground. It was a really good match. It was 3 rounds. Brad Pickett, my opinion, didn't look the best because he was coming off the loss to Uriah Faber and his send-off. And Brad Pickett, my favorite moment by him was when he beat Demetrius Johnson, and I thought he was going to win this fight against Marlon Vera. Sorry, I don't really know this guy a lot. But Brad Pickett just didn't look like the old Brad Pickett, because it happens to the best of them, like Vitor, to Anderson Silva. They're not in their prime anymore. You can't fight like you did back in the day. It happens. But the way he got knocked out, it was scary, because Brad Pickett went immediately down, and Marlon kept hitting him on the ground, and the ref called it. And the post-fight interview was really sad, because Brad Pickett put his hat on the octagon, showing that it was his last fight, and it was his send-off to his career. And then when they were interviewing Marlon Vera, he was saying how much of influence Brad Pickett was on his career, and how much of a pioneer Brad Pickett is. And it was just really sad, because Brad Pickett was crying, and it probably just made him feel worse that he did lose his last fight, and that he's never going to come back into the octagon again, in my opinion. And I hope not, because the way he got knocked out was just call it quits. You made a good amount of money. You retired on not the top of your game, but you had a pretty good record in the UFC, good MMA record. Just he had a good career overall. Beat Demetrius Johnson, and that's probably my favorite moment by Brad Pickett. And just the fact that he's a pioneer in the sport. People will never forget Brad Pickett. So good send-off to his career, even though he did lose his last fight. It's a bummer, but it happens to the best of them. Now we're going to go to the co-main event because there's only 3 fights that I was interested in this UFC Fight Night card. Gunnar Nelson and Jouban. Gunnar Nelson trains with Conor McGregor, and Coach John Kavanagh.
So you messed up that name. Isn't his name Alan? Is it Alan?
Alan. Did I say Alan?
I feel like I heard somebody say Alan.
Yeah, we talked about Jouban before.
Yeah, I know. I
previous
feel like
card.
Pronounced Alan.
Alan, whatever.
Alan doesn't sound right.
Alan. It's Alan.
Yeah, I know. So I could see where you say Alan, but I feel like I heard somebody say Alan.
Okay.
Alan Jouban.
All right, but getting into this fight, real good, tough match. Gunnar Nelson, like I said, trains with Conor McGregor, and Coach John Kavanagh, which is Conor McGregor's coach, coached Gunnar Nelson for this fight. And Gunnar Nelson looked really good in this fight. He looked like the real Karate Kid in the welterweight division. He picked him apart with his kickboxing and hit him with, what was it? I believe a roundhouse kick to the body and a cross, and dropped Jouban to the ground. And instead of finishing it with a TKO, Gunnar Nelson decides, let me go for a guillotine and just finish the fight. And submits him, gets performance of the night submission, and after the fight, he calls out Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Yeah. And Gunnar Nelson, I believe, right now, after that win, is
That's a stretch.
I'll just say top 10. I believe he was maybe 10 going into the fight. He's probably at like maybe 9 or 8 right now.
You have to beat the top guys to be a top guy.
Yeah, but in the 170-pound division, I think he has a bunch of little hurdles to overcome. Like if he would fight Donald Cerrone or Robbie Lawler or Jorge Masvidal or someone like that.
Masvidal.
Yeah,
always
that's another name, man.
Masvidal.
But the fact that he did call out Stephen Wonderboy Thompson it's just to get attention, and I love that fight because they're both really good kickboxers, and they both do really well at karate.
When's that Demetrius Johnson card?
April 15th.
Okay, so it's not next week. Great, because Mania's next week, and I need my Mania.
Okay. But yeah, it's not for a while. That fight night's gonna be.
Because that card is ridiculous.
Yes, very, and it's for a fight night, and it's free TV. And Demetrius Johnson is the main event once again.
King of free TV. Bro.
Yeah, I feel
for the record
so
or the
bad
tie?
for him, man.
It's for the record.
For the tie.
For the tie.
Yeah, if he's not on a main event
for the record
card, like for the record pay-per-view card, that's horrible. They're completely advertising him the wrong way, and I feel completely bad for him because he's the number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world for a reason until Jon Jones comes back. But we'll talk about Jon Jones later. Jimi Manuwa, that was the guy I was trying to talk about before. Him and the Anthony Johnson. Remember, I said Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I couldn't think of his last name. Jimi Manuwa and Corey Anderson. Jimi Manuwa just looked clean. It took him 1 minute and 50 seconds to knock out Corey Anderson. Hit him with a right hook, dropped him, slept him. Performance of the night, KO. He only hit Corey Anderson 6 times before Corey Anderson went to sleep. The reason why I like Jimi Manuwa so much is because ever since he knocked out OSP at UFC 204, he's just on a mission to come for anyone above him in the light heavyweight division.
OSP. Trash.
Yeah, oh my goodness, bro. He's so bad. He's gunning for Jon Jones. He's gunning for Cormier. He's gunning for Johnson, Shogun Rua, whoever in the light heavyweight division. He wants to prove that he's one of the best light heavyweights in the world. After the fight, he said, Jon Jones, ever since he got caught with steroids, it diminishes everything he's done in the sport. And I completely disagree because Jon Jones is the best mixed martial artist fighter I've ever seen. All around, his wrestling, his Greco-Roman back style, the way he picks apart people, his kickboxing, and just the way he fights and how his technique is so creative. And the fact that Jimi Manuwa said that about Jon Jones, that lit a fire in Jon Jones' stomach. So maybe Jimi Manuwa could fight Jon Jones in the future. And I would love that fight because they're both scrappers.
Work his way there.
Yeah. And I just think Jon Jones, if they ever did fight, Jon Jones would absolutely murk him. And it would be no contest.
I'm just interested to see how would Jon Jones be when he comes back?
Yeah. He's rumored to fight in July. I
would hope so. As soon as you're clear, just fight.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be they could just set the fight up for July right now.
Yeah.
And have it officially signed up, right? Even though he's suspended.
Yeah.
Just because he'll be free.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that works. Can you not talk to them while they're suspended?
Dana White hasn't talked to Jon Jones since UFC 200. That's a long time. Since last July.
Yeah.
So who knows? There are rumors though that Jon Jones will fight the winner. No. There aren't rumors because it's already confirmed by Dana White. He said Jon Jones will fight Anthony Johnson or Daniel Cormier whenever, whoever, depending on who wins and if there's a significant injury to Cormier or Johnson, and however long it takes Jon Jones or whoever the winner of the belt at UFC 210 takes for them to train and make the fight official, blah, 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 blah. But there are rumors that Jon Jones is going to fight the winner of that fight on the July 4th weekend card. They always have a big card during Independence Day. And that card will also be GSP and Michael Bisping and Chris Cyborg and what's the girl's name? That beat Holly Holm. Jermaine Durandame. That's a stacked card. That's 3 title fights, July 4th weekend. Let's do it. GSP, Bisping, Jon Jones, Anthony Johnson.
You guys owe us for that 209 card.
For real. Or Daniel Cormier 2 and Cyborg and Durandame. That's an amazing card. 3 title fights. Second time in UFC history they would be able to do it.
GSP and Bisping's really happening.
Yeah, I can't. Well, we need to talk about that too. I don't think we talked about that. It's been a few weeks.
No, we have.
Oh, we did? Yes, we did. Okay. That's one last thing to talk about.
We both needed that 1 second of realization.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry if I'm sniffling in the background.
No, that's fine. Well, now we discussed the 2 fight night cards. There's no MMA in this week or next week. 2 weeks from now is UFC 210. Now on to MMA news, that I like to call it. The UFC 211 card in Dallas, Texas on May 13th. Yes, May 13th, Saturday. This is going to be card of the year. I'll run through it real quick. Stipe Miocic, Junior Dos Santos for the heavyweight belt.
Good fight.
Great fight. Hope Stipe wins, but we'll get into the predictions.
I would say good, not great. I'm not the biggest fan of Dos Santos lately.
Yeah. We'll get into more predictions once it comes into May. Joanna Jędrzejczyk and I don't remember her first name, but
yeah, I don't know anybody that Joanna fights.
Yeah, me neither, except Carolina.
Yeah.
And Claudia. But this girl Andrade, she's the number 3 strawweight.
Her name's
division.
probably Andrade.
Andrade. Andrade. Andrade. Probably.
That's always pronounced Andrade.
This girl, she had a fight a few weeks ago, and she's a scrapper. It was tough.
Wait, which one is this one? Can I see a picture? Was she on the fight night?
Yeah, the girl on the right.
Andrade, she fought that
black
girl.
chick.
Yes. No, this is gonna be a great fight.
Yeah, these girls both have good.
What's her name? Jessica Andrade.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
See, I remember.
Shit, you know one more name than me. Shit, but this fight's really gonna be technical. It's gonna be a stand-up fight. Joanna likes to stay on the feet, of course, with her black belt in Muay Thai, and Andrade, her boxing. Andrade, her boxing.
See, I hyped you up the first time. I love balled you, bro.
For real.
Ain't no fucking $1 million you do.
Jessica and Joanna Jędrzejczyk for the strawweight belt. It's gonna be a really good fight. Damian Maia and Jorge. Oh,
Jorge
Jesus.
Masvidal.
Yeah, I was gonna say the last name correct, but I couldn't say the first name right. That's a really good fight as well. Eddie Alvarez and Dustin Poirier.
Wait, he's fighting Damian Maia?
Who? Jorge? Yeah.
Hold up. This is the same card.
Yes. I'm not done.
Isn't there Edgar?
I'm not done yet.
Holy, what's on the main card, bro?
That is the main card. I'm reading the main card.
Who's gonna be cut to the?
I don't know.
There's only 5 main card fights, aren't there? Yo, we're Buffalo Wild Wings this show.
Oh, for real. This isn't May. This is when you'll be in Florida.
What date is
May
it?
May 13th. Damn.
I'll be in Florida, crazy.
I'll be in Virginia.
Wow.
Damn, yo, we're both gonna miss
Buffalo Wild Wings.
I'm gonna stream it.
You know what? Maybe I head to one down there with just me and my girl. I don't know.
Shit.
We'll figure something.
I'll go to one in Virginia and watch it. I don't care. But anyway, Eddie Alvarez and Dustin Poirier. Hopefully Eddie Alvarez comes out of the dark ages of since he lost to Conor.
Wait, hold on. No way it's May 13th, bro.
Why?
Because May 14th. No, I'll be back. Like my last day is May 12th.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I'll be in Virginia though.
You'll be out.
Yeah.
Maybe I hit it up with somebody up here.
All right. Eddie Alvarez
Buffalo Wild Wings ain't the same without you, bro.
For real, it's not.
Damn. Yeah, I'll
Who
be
knows?
up here.
Who knows? Maybe we'll go later.
I just changed my I just called off for those days too, and I called off that Saturday just so I could because I ain't nobody wanna. It sucks when you come from a vacation and have work the next day. I ain't doing that.
Oh yeah, I feel you. But Eddie Alvarez, Dustin Poirier, good fight. Dustin Poirier coming off a win against Joe Lozon, and Eddie Alvarez coming off loss to Conor McGregor. Hopefully,
I was on the card too.
Yeah, hopefully he bounces back because I like Eddie Alvarez. He's gonna be a Hall of Famer in the UFC by far. No, not UFC, MMA. I'm sorry. Dustin Poirier, good matchup. Henry Cejudo and Sergio Pettis. This is going to be, in my opinion, for the number 1 contender spot after Demetrius Johnson fights William Reyes.
You think Pettis is up there already?
He's number 4 in the
he moved up quick, I feel
division. Yeah, he's better than his brother.
I feel like wasn't a few months ago he wasn't that high at all.
Yeah, he wasn't even top 10.
Yeah,
he climbed that ladder real quick. He's a good fighter.
But I thought the fighter he beat was unranked.
No, he was ranked.
Who did he beat last time? Do you remember?
I don't really know many names in the 125-pound division, but I'm pretty sure he was probably 5 or 6 in the division.
See, I didn't know that. I thought he was unranked. Yeah.
And Frankie Edgar and Yair Rodriguez.
Yeah, this got all the young guns.
This card, man.
Masvidal and Rodriguez on the same card.
Probably my favorite fight out of all of them is the Frankie Edgar and Yair Rodriguez. Frankie Edgar is the number 2 featherweight in the division, and Yair is 9. If Yair wins this fight against Frankie Edgar, he's in title contention against Jose Aldo or Max Holloway.
Bro, wait, and that's the main event, correct?
What?
Jose Aldo.
No, that's that's 212.
That's 212. Wait, what's the main event in this card?
Stipe Jr. Dos Santos.
I feel like honestly that's a flat main event though.
Yeah, Stipe is really ever since he won the belt, he's been getting extremely famous.
Yeah, no.
In other news, Rashad Evans is not retiring ever since he lost to what was his name? Kelly.
Oh my God! What was his name? Kelly something Kelly. Damn it!
He was just that teacher MMA fighter, bro. He came out odd, but he fought a hell of a fight against Rashad Evans. He said he's not retiring. He said he would love to come back at the 185-pound division.
Jorge Masvidal, was that the one who knocked out Donald Cerrone?
Donald Cerrone, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got the person that knocked out Donald Cerrone. It got the person that knocked out BJ Penn.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Frankie Edgar, Eddie Alvarez, Dustin Poirier, Joanna and Jessica. Who was the other one?
This is Pettis.
Yeah, Pettis and Henry Cejudo. That's probably for the number 1 contender spot.
Yeah,
after Demetrius Johnson. That's card of the year.
This is a card.
And it's
and it's a good balance. Oh, my ear is ringing. Who's talking about me?
Who?
My ear is ringing.
Oh, I thought you said
wow, it felt like a freaking flashbang. I'm sorry. But this is a card that is well balanced between names and talent.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Stipe name, and you got Junior Dos Santos, who those two alone are huge.
Mm-hmm.
Frankie Edgar, who's huge, but then you got the talent that lies in between it, and I feel like is intertwining it with the Jorge Masvidal, with Yair Rodriguez, Henry Cejudo, and even Pettis' younger brother. What's his first name?
Sergio.
Sergio. Yeah. Damn, he do not look like no Sergio.
Yeah. This makes me laugh. Yoel Romero wants interim title fight with Anderson Silva. Why wouldn't you want an interim title fight with Luke Rockhold or Jacare Souza? Why call out Anderson Silva when he's on the outs of his career? He's not a top 10 fighter in the division when you're the number one contender for the title. I can understand his frustration not fighting Michael Bisping because he completely deserves it. But who knows? Maybe he just wants to fight someone because this was a few weeks ago. He said about Anderson Silva before Kelvin Gastelum beat Vitor, and that was agreed and everything. But I can understand the frustration of Yoel Romero. If Yoel Romero doesn't get this title fight against Bisping, after hopefully he doesn't lose to GSP, because that'd be embarrassing after a 4-year layoff and GSP moving up 15 pounds in weight.
That's exactly what's gonna happen, bro. I don't know.
I think GSP is gonna murk him.
Yeah,
it's gonna be tough, but I think GSP is gonna murk him.
GSP's winning that fight.
I just think it's ridiculous. The fight to make is Yoel and Luke Rockhold in the making.
Well, the fight to make was Bisping versus freaking Yoel. I think Yoel got the shit end of the stick, and he's just trying to. Mm-hmm. I hate the idea of interim title fight, but to him that means money and. Mm-hmm. You know what? He was due for the money fight anyways, so I do understand his pain and I do feel for him. So it is what it is.
I wish Chris was here and Lou and Jesus because this could be a question for like a
fast red corner blue corner
debate. Do you think the UFC is making a mistake not using the contenders against like the higher ranked contenders against the champions correctly, or do you think they're falling from that aspect of doing that how it should be and going more into the money fights like a Bisping, GSP, Conor, Nate, Conor, and whoever else? Because I think they're doing it more on the money aspect ever since they sold the company.
They're doing it more on the that has been happening. But what should they rather do? I would say easily the contenders.
Oh, but they have to.
I wouldn't mind seeing
a money fight.
The 8 ranked against the champion, just because it kind of gives for some thrill. Mm-hmm. And like the Cody Garbrandt versus Dominic Cruz, we've seen how that worked out. Mm-hmm. The
Holly Holm and Ronda. People forget Holly Holm was the 8th ranked fighter going into that fight.
Holly Holm versus Ronda. I'm trying to think of even better one. I had one on the tip of my tongue. I mean, Bisping winning the title back.
Yeah, that was a huge upset. Matt Serra being the Ultimate Fighter winner and knocking out GSP. That's another one. I just want them to go to that aspect of, like, if you're a number 1 ranked contender in your division, fight the champion. Don't look for a money fight like Bisping's been doing, or Tyron Woodley's been doing, trying to avoid Stephen Thompson or any other welterweight fighters in the division. I'm sorry, but why would you want to fight Nick Diaz? He hasn't fought since 2015? Hasn't won a fight since 2011? That's excuses. Dylan Danis officially signs with Bellator MMA. If you don't know who Dylan Danis is, it's Conor McGregor's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coach. And I think it's very interesting.
You just put this down because it has to do with Conor.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't think
Conor's, what's his name? His friend?
What one?
The guy who's fighting Cub.
Oh, Artem. April 22nd. Cub's going to destroy him.
That's the week after
Johnson and
Demetrius,
Reyes, yeah. But I think it's interesting because I didn't think Dylan Danis would actually sign into MMA, but Conor probably talked him into it, and John Kavanagh and the whole group there at SBG in Ireland. Good for him. I hope he...
Oh, God, this Conor bullshit ass. This is just you because you love his...
Yeah. I hope he does well in his MMA career. Who knows? He's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Maybe he could get some good wins.
This is a random ass guy, and you know everything about him?
No, I know a lot about him because of Conor.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's not good.
Tony Ferguson and Nate Diaz. Tony Ferguson says the match to make right now would be between him and Nate Diaz, since Conor is not in the division.
That would be a great fight.
He said, Tony Ferguson, quote for quote, "I'm ready. My body doesn't know anything different but to fight right now. That's what I want to do. I want to fight soon. For the belt. I'm just throwing names out there, but I think Nate Diaz and myself would be the best fight to make possible."
See, these are the guys I like. These are the guys I want to be the champions. The guys who don't care who they fight. The guys who don't care about the money they receive. He does. I can't say that. But the guy, he earned it. But the guys like these should be your champions because they don't care about, but this guy didn't deserve his shot, or this guy needs to go through this wall to get to me and he hasn't proved himself. Nah, if you call in my name, you can get it. If I just think we'll make a good fight and I just want to do it for the love of the sport, we could do it as well. I like that.
Yeah, I like Tony Ferguson. I like what he's doing. The thing I don't like, though, is Nate Diaz. He's declining every fight. And he did say something about Dana White the other day, saying that I think he called him like a fat motherfucker or some shit like that. Not sure. I might be misquoting something there.
Just put him against Dana White.
But Nate Diaz he's been falling down the UFC lightweight rankings. He was number 4 or 5 when he lost to Conor, and right now he's sitting at 8. And I don't understand why he's... Yeah, I don't understand why he's fallen that steeply, though. But I can understand if you're turning down fights according to Dana White. He's turned down, like, 3 or 4 fights. And the Diaz brothers, they're just turning down every fight. It's just a joke. Conor and 8-3 will probably happen in years to come. It's not going to happen anytime soon. Because who knows what Conor's doing right now. With Floyd, with MMA, with anything, really. In other news... Not talking about Conor, the Diaz brothers, or whoever. Matt Hughes is considering a return, and he wants to fight Royce Gracie in a rematch.
Why don't they just take like the bingo room in the retirement home? What are they doing?
I don't understand why Matt Hughes wants to come back. He's the second best welterweight in UFC history behind GSP. This man has an amazing record, has over 45 wins. I think he has only like 9 or 10 losses. Great fighter. I understand why he would come back late 40s and
they should just scrap
fight
it up
Royce Gracie, who's in his 50s.
They should just scrap it up in the bingo room. I don't know what's the problem here.
I don't get it. Lawrence Larkin signs with Bellator MMA as well. Lawrence Larkin, he's just a name that reached out to me because he fought Neil Magny and completely destroyed.
I swear to God, if this has anything to do with Conor.
No, he's not related to Conor anyway.
Ooh, thank God.
The reason why I bring this up, though, is just because Lawrence Larkin, he's just a really good Muay Thai kickboxer.
I know we're not ending this podcast on news about Lawrence Larkin.
No. I have a few more things. Right. But I just like that he made the move to Bellator. It sucks that he's leaving the UFC because he had a hell of a fight with Neil Magny a few months ago. And good deal for Lawrence Larkin. He's probably getting paid more at Bellator. That's probably why he left. But I'm sad to see him leave because I really liked him, the way he fought and the way he brought out his name and just decided to go any fight just to make his fans happy and himself happy and make himself money and whatever. Michael McDonald got released from the UFC. Another great name in UFC has left. Who knows if he's going to Bellator or whoever, but he did say that the UFC was dishonest in the way they tried to do business with him, which is a bummer because I really like Michael McDonald, and it just sucks to see him leave. But hey, who knows? He'll go to probably Bellator or just retire because I believe he's in his mid-30s. Maybe not mid-30s, maybe young 30s, I'm not sure. Derek Lewis and Mark Hunt is targeted for UFC Auckland on June 10th in New Zealand. Derek Lewis is on a mission right now in the heavyweight division. Mark Hunt, after him getting knocked out by Overeem, I don't think he would be able to stand with Derek Lewis since Derek Lewis just knocked out Travis Brown and probably end his
Derek
career.
Lewis versus Overeem?
I would love to see Derek Lewis and Francis
Ngannou.
Yeah, Ngannou, that black dude. I think he's going to be the next heavyweight champion of the world. I think he would beat Stipe right now. Because Francis is on a really good win streak, and Stipe scared the shit out of me when he almost lost to Overeem. But yeah, that fight is happening June 10th. It's official. We talked about Jacare earlier in the podcast. 3 more things. No, 2 more things. I'm sorry.
I thought you had 2 more things 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. Fedor Emelianenko and Matt Mitrione is the co-main event for Bellator 180 in New York. So they did reschedule it. I'm happy to see that because I want to see Fedor get another win.
I want to see Fedor lose, bro.
I'll cry my eyes out. Fabricio Werdum expecting to fight Overeem or Cain Velasquez in July, so maybe that'll be the card with Jon Jones.
OD heavyweight news, goddamn.
Cyborg and GSP. And I wanted to ask you a question, and then we'll sign out here because we're already at 54 minutes. Should there be a Legends division in the UFC?
A Legends division? This is fucking...
Like the old Vitor mentioned this before a few months ago. Like the older fighters should just fight the older fighters, like Vitor and Anderson, Dan Henderson and Matt Hughes if he wanted to come back. Should there be a Legends division where these 40-year-old, late 30-year-olds shouldn't be fighting the young guns or the more powerful, higher-ranked fighters in the division?
I don't think there should be a Legend division if you want to do Legend matchups that haven't been done already.
Mm-hmm.
Because, just it's cool off the nostalgia. You know what I mean? You could do that, but Legends division might be pushing. You want to have a Legends champion? Like, what makes them... a legend, what makes them out of their prime, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you could have fucking Michael Bisping who, he would have been in that so-called Legends division and then he just won the championship, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's complete, I think that's stupid.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
It sounds like a game mode, bro.
For real.
It literally sounds like a game mode.
For real. I don't like it. Yeah, it's something good to, think about, but it's just a joke because you would literally have like old 30-year-old, 40-year-olds having to fight each other, and it wouldn't be the most exciting fight.
That's called Bellator.
Yeah, for real. And the fact,
Tito Ortiz versus Rampage Jackson. Let's go. Not Rampage. Chael. Sorry,
yeah.
I'm sorry. That's called Bellator.
Yeah. Chael's fighting Wanderlei Silva again at Bellator. They already made that fight as well.
Yeah, all right, so you want to get a Legends division? Just go to Bellator if you want.
Yeah. It's a good idea to get names out there and maybe put people in the seats because they're just known fighters and they're veterans and they've been champions before, but they're past their primes. No, I don't think a Legends division would be a good thing in the UFC.
Put them as a headliner and some fight night, call it a day. Give some shine to some younger folk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
And that's going to wrap it up with all my UFC fight nights, winners, losers.
Damn, Jesse, you covered a shit ton. Props to you.
All by myself.
All by yourself. You had me doing some questions here and there, throwing my opinions. Don't know a lot of people you're talking about, but try to keep up with you. Hopefully I will soon, or hopefully they will make me know them, you know what I mean? So, with all that being said... hopefully we get Christian on this next week. Finally.
Yeah.
Any card next week?
No.
Damn, no card
2
again.
weeks, UFC 210. I said it a few times during the podcast. Looking forward to that. We'll do our predictions. We'll overview the fight after.
Well, I think next
Johnson
podcast will be predictions because I want to get them out the week before. Okay. So.
All right. And then we'll do the overview of the who wins. Hopefully Johnson knocks out Cormier because they fucking can't stand him. And Chris Weidman and Mousasi, I'm nervous as fuck about that fight. If Weidman loses, I'm going to fall off the bandwagon because he's
There's
just
no reason to be on that bandwagon.
He's just falling down that middleweight division.
Yep. Well, guys, with all that being said, it's about time to tune out. You can find us on SoundCloud, YouTube, and iTunes under the name All of the Above, ENT. I'm your man, Christian, your host, and my man here.
I'm Jesse.
And with all that being said, I already said with all that being said.
Yeah.
So with all being said, with all that being said, we're out.
Peace. We're out.
With all that being said.